Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to May training. Would you believe that when I was writing this, I literally wrote April and then my mind went, no, I think it's May. And I was like, no, I think it's April. I honestly cannot believe we are in May already. And this is such an exciting month for me because it's my birthday month. And I know it's the birthday month for so many of our QLAs. So happy birthday to everybody who's celebrating a birthday this month. And we should really do it every month, but it took for my birthday to come around for actually me to think about it. So I apologize for that. So for those of you celebrating birthdays this month, happy birthday. So we are in May already. And I want to take this opportunity. If you're new to our group, welcome to the Frequency Soul Collective. For those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Beck McQuilty. I live on the southwest side of Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. And I say that because we are expanding our tribe so far and wide. We have an entire new team coming in from the USA and another team almost in, but not just yet, but they're coming from Canada. And I'm so excited for that. One of our beautiful QLAs at the moment is over in Malaysia and Singapore. So our collaborative is definitely spreading far and wide, which is awesome. So we do training, this particular training once a month. And it's just really to bring you all together and to come together as a group and to share stories, do some learning around different aspects, whether it be about the device or just about other things that we can, bring special guests into. It's just a bit of fun, but it's also a great opportunity for us to be able to do a bit of training together and also share announcements. So that being said, I'm going to get straight into the announcements this week. So as I mentioned, my name is Beck and Paige will be joining me shortly as well, which is awesome. She's going to be introducing our very special guest this evening that she has organized for us. So thank you so much to Paige for joining that. So some team announcements. First and foremost, just a reminder that our monthly training is the first Monday of every single month. So if you can schedule into your diaries now, Monday, the 5th of June. Can you believe we are going to be halfway through the year? That is insane. The Punta Cana training, we do that in conjunction with the focus group every Monday. So Monday, 7 p.m. Queensland time is our focus group training, except for that one night per month, which is like this evening, where we do our monthly training. It's a really great opportunity for you to come along and really focus on your business, ask questions, get ideas around what's working, what's not working, and for us to really be able to support each other. So please, if you are looking at building a business with us here at SoulX, this is an incredible training for you to be able to be a part of. So I really encourage you to come along to that. We have Mind Body Spirit Festival in Sydney from Thursday, the 17th of May, all the way through to Sunday, the 21st of May. There is myself, Amanda Matthews, Anthea, and Ashley, maybe Ashley, I think. So there's 3 to 4 of us doing that expo. So if you are in Sydney or you have people in Sydney, actually Anne's coming as well. Sorry, Anne. Please feel free to invite your people along for scanning, or at least for us to be able to share the device and all of our knowledge with them. We are also taking expressions of interest for Mind, Body, Spirit in Melbourne, and that is going to be from the 9th to the 12th of June. So if you are in Melbourne, or even if you would like to go down to Melbourne for it, have a nice weekend away, perfect time of year, June in Melbourne. I'm not going to be able to sell that one very well, sorry. It's too cold for me down there in June. But for those of you in Melbourne, we would love to have you representing SoulX down there in our Frequency Soul Collective for sure. We have an incredible presentation tomorrow evening with the amazing Madonna Guy. She is an incredible naturopath and kinesiologist out on the Bayside here in Brisbane. And she is doing a presentation with me tomorrow evening. So that, if you haven't seen it before, is the flyer for the event. Please feel free to invite all of your prospects along, or people who just would like some more information. Please feel free to advertise this. We would love to have you all on the call supporting. Madonna, if you have not seen her speak before or heard her speak before, she is so incredible. I just love picking her brain, to be honest, but she's just such a beautiful energy as well. So it's an absolute honor to be able to be presenting alongside of her tomorrow evening. We will record it, absolutely, but if you have people who are interested in more information, please ask them to come along and check that out. The Frequency Soul Collective group, I just wanted to share again that we have 2 groups on Facebook. One is called the Frequency Soul Collective. That is for anybody to come along to. Please invite anyone and everyone. They don't have to be in Solex. It's just really a group for us to share more information, whether it be about frequency and energy work in general. Sometimes, you know, people have really cool testimonials. It's just a really great group to be a part of. So please feel free to invite all of your people along to this, because the amount of times it's happened where it's that second or third validation that people hear it from somebody else that they go, oh my gosh, I really needed to hear that. You know, they didn't even a lot of the time, you know, take too much notice not necessarily of what's in the group, but until something was really relevant to them, they're like, hang on a minute, what is this? So it's a really great group for you to be able to invite people to. We have over 1,100 people in that group now, but I think with the amount of QLAs and PCs that we have in our collaborative, I think we can continue to grow that exponentially. So that is the Frequency Soul Collective group. And then the Frequency Soul Collective QLA group is specifically for QLAs. I've also been thinking about, with the Frequency Soul Collective group, adding more educational videos, I guess, in regards to the technology and how to use it, because I thought that that might be just a really great place for new QLAs or PCs or people using the Alpha 3 passes to be able to search information there and watch little short videos. And then it's sort of sharing with everybody as well, like, you know, how we put an animal into the scanner, or how to add your supplements, or how to scan for your homeopathics. It's just a really good education side of things. So would love your feedback on that as well. Feel free to either pop it in the chat or to message me privately. Okay, the next thing I wanted to cover off with you, just from a training perspective this evening, is what is the story around your business? In the work that I do, I find that there's always a theme that tends to come up for my clients, whether that be like on a weekly or a fortnightly basis. And so I thought, why not talk about the stories that we have for ourselves around our businesses? Because, you know, I talk to a lot of you, right? There's a lot of QLAs in our group. There's a lot of QLAs that I talk to out of our group. In the United States, I have people who I've partnered with, whether they be my accountability partners or people that I just, you know, we have meetings in regards to the progression and what we're doing with Solex, etc. And one of the themes that tends to come up sometimes is the story around your business. And I ask you tonight to really sit with that and feel into, what is the story around your business? Is this just a sometimes thing? Is it I kind of talk about it if it comes up? Is it it's the first thing that goes if something happens, like if you're busy, or, you know, you're you know, something at work goes crazy? Is this the first thing that goes for you? So I really encourage you to look at your language of how you speak about your business to yourself, because if you're too busy for your business, unfortunately, that really stunts the growth of. Okay, so I would ask for you just it's really for me tonight to kind of plant the seed with you in being mindful and aware now of how you actually speak about your business or think about your business to yourself. Which brings me to the next point of the people that you are bringing in. Are you looking after them? I have to be really honest around this, because I have had it happen to me twice this week, where I have had someone reach out to me and ask for me to take them on personally, be unenrolled from their enroller, and to come on with me personally. Now, that's lovely for me. I'm very grateful that they think highly of me to ask the question. but it also brings a thought to me of how are we looking after our people? And if we are not in our business, then we can't expect people to be in our business. And in any business, from a leadership perspective, what we do will duplicate. So if we see it as something that, oh, we can just bring people into and that's kind of the end of it, I feel like it's so important to understand that we work in the space of energy. And don't get me wrong, the stuff happens sometimes. I've had a bit happen in my personal life in the last probably month. My mum, as many of you know, has been very, very unwell. Although that being said, she did get home late yesterday afternoon. I picked her up from the hospital and brought her home. And then I found out only a couple of days ago that a friend of mine is very unwell and passing in the next probably, I hate to say few days, but most likely the next few days. And she was a beautiful QLA with us here at Solex. Her daughter is a beautiful QLA with us as well. And my heart just really goes out to that family at this time. And for me to be able to go and see her yesterday and just, give her a kiss and spend some time with her and just hold space for her was important for me. So that being said, stuff goes on and I get that. But if there's one thing that I've realized over time is that the rest of the world keeps going. When stuff happens to us, the rest of the world keeps going. And I guess it doesn't matter to what degree you keep your pulse on your business, but it's really important to keep your pulse on your business. And for me, if I need to step out, then I have people I reach out to that I can say, hey, do you mind just helping me out for a bit? But at the end of the day, I have a responsibility, as do all of us, that, when we bring somebody in, we are paid a commission and we're paid that commission to look after people. And that's really what we're about here at the Frequency Soul Collective. And I know that, if something happened with me and I needed help, and I know so many of you would put your hands up and help me, as I would for each of you. But I hate to think that there's people coming in, whether it be to our organization or others, that that are not made the time for. It's definitely what gives the industry a bad name. But, if this is something about, just making a commission and not actually genuinely really helping people, then I think it's something that, really needs to be reconsidered from a business perspective. And look, I know majority, 99% of us look after our people and are always there. And that's why we have meetings like this. We have trainings. We have so many incredible events. And I feel very blessed to be a part of this particular collective because we're very active in supporting each other and being able to bring on some incredible people to support events and things like that. But it's just something to be mindful. And I wanted to mention it for the pure reason that it has been brought to me twice this week personally. So I was like, if it's happened to me twice in a week, it's definitely happening more and more out there. So I just wanted to share that. For those of you who are new, you may not have heard of our Raise Your Vibe Tribe. So this is our group that on a Sunday evening at 6 p.m. WA time, 8 p.m. Queensland time, we have a Raise Your Vibe Tribe group. So that is a Facebook messenger group. And what it's designed to do is that we all do a post on Facebook. We copy and paste it into this group and we assist each other in boosting our posts. If you can get 10 people commenting and doing an emoji on your post within a short period of time, it will help to boost the algorithm through Facebook. And that is what the idea of this group is. We also do it on a Wednesday morning. It is a bit of an early one for those in WA. It's 8 a.m. Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria time. So if you're not a part of that and you would like to be, please reach out to your person that you are working with, and I'm sure that they can add you to that group. We do this with the beautiful Jessica Zavios. Jessica is my business partner over in the US. We are not on the same team as such. We're not in each other's businesses per se, but we work together because in leading the way for each of our teams, we really support each other from a team aspect, but we also support each other with our goals and our accountability of what we're doing individually to grow our businesses. So if you feel you would like an accountability partner like I have in Jess, reach out and I'm sure we can find someone to hook you up with. So if you'd like to be part of our Raise Your Vibe tribe, please just let us know. I really want to share with you the incentives for the second quarter. So this is April, May, and June. So April has been, so we don't really need to go into that. You would know that if you bought people in April, what they have received. And in May, this is a really great opportunity that if you have someone come in, either a QLA or a PC, and they have a qualifying order over the value of $200. So that does mean, you know, like it could even be the headset and the subscription. The Bluetooth headset and subscription will qualify them. They will receive a free bottle of Ionix Gold, which is our full Vic mineral, an incredible product, and so will you. So this is a win-win. So if you bring in 10 people in May, that means each of those people are going to receive an Ionix Gold, and that means you will receive 10 Ionix Gold. So there's no limit to it. They will, however, send that out at the end of the month. So they have mentioned that on the Solex call, which happens every Thursday for us. You can go to the YouTube channel Solex LLC, and please make sure you're watching that every week. It's an incredible call. I generally will not see the call live as I'm generally working or out and about doing something, but I'll always watch it within 24 hours. And it's just a great call and particularly from an education perspective. So that is May. And then June, for every new QLA or PC that comes in, they will receive a free Day of Discovery ticket, including the swag bag. Now, I know for a lot in Australia, you may not be heading over to Day of Discovery in September. I personally am. I'm been putting my little commissions, not so little commissions away, and saving hard to be able to go and enjoy it and be with the team over there in September. But anyone that you sign on, even if they can't make that, they're going to get the swag bag anyhow. So I think that's pretty incredible. Now, they always do a few bonuses at the end of each of these times as well. So if through the month of April, May, and June, so for this particular quarter, when you have enrolled 3 QLAs or PCs with a qualifying volume, which is a minimum of 100 PV, in April, May, and June, you will receive a $100 coupon to spend in the Solex store. The next one, though, I've got to be honest with you, I'm more excited about this. So when you enroll 6 people, that's only 2 people a month. That is so achievable. You will qualify to be as part of the exclusive testing group that's upcoming straight after. So I think they will do it literally at the end of June, so early July. And they will have you beta test this product July, August, and then ready for the probably launch of it in September is what I'm assuming. And that product is, no one else will know what it is. You will be part of this particular group. They will give you the product. They will give you the ingredients. They will tell you what it's all about, just from making sure they're doing the right thing. But they'll ask for your feedback, and you will know everything about this product before anybody else does. So that is really, really exciting. So hopefully we can all be part of that. Just a reminder, we do have Punta Cana. This is the incredible incentive. And I have to be really honest with you, the calls that I have, individual calls I've had with some QLAs around this, kind of felt like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I feel like I'm too far behind. When they have jumped off the call with me, I promise you, not one of those people felt that this wasn't possible. So if you're feeling it's impossible at the moment and you want to make it possible, please reach out to me and I will help roadmap this with you. We still have all of May and all of June, and then we need to make sure that those people are qualifying June, July, and August, so that at the end of August, we make sure that you have increased your business by 15 people for 1 ticket. That's all expenses paid, no matter where you live in the world. So 15 new QLAs or PCs for 1 person to qualify, and 20 people for you to receive 2 tickets. That is thousands and thousands of dollars worth of value. And this is the beautiful Hard Rock Cafe Resort in the Dominican Republic. So I don't know about any of you, but I'm going. I said to corporate, I don't even care if I don't win, I'm coming. But I made it not negotiable for me not to go. So I know 100% that I'm going to qualify for that. My numbers might tell you different, but I'm going. Now, just a quick reminder in regards to our Frequency Soul Collective system, we recommend that you are scanning roughly 10 people over a 2-week period with Inner Voice, adding them to our Frequency Soul Collective Facebook group. And you could also really recommend and encourage people to leave their testimonial in there as well. You could be offering to do them a free Cephi, like sending them a Cephi, because then it gets them understanding what a subtle energy frequency is, and then inviting them to check out our next information call and then following them up. I can guarantee you that if you are solidly doing this, your figures will improve, your business will grow. It's really about consistency. You know, even if you have to slow down, if you have stuff on, consistency in any business is absolutely key. Oh, and we have birthday giveaways. So, all right, hang on. I've got to make sure I have everybody. Hey, Chains, are you there? I'm going to throw you like fair in the deep end right now, just because I'm going to do a draw. So I was going to say, do you want to just tell me a little bit? I know you have organized this incredible guest speaker, Jody, this evening, and we'll invite her on in just a moment, but I'm going to do these birthday draws first. But before we do, I just thought I would ask you to share, if you don't mind, a little bit about your experience with Jody, because I know it just sounded so amazing when I talked to you the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a funny story how Jody and I met. It was through Solex. So I had actually reached out to her. She's a kinesiologist in Toowoomba, and well, she's more than a kinesiologist, but she was, that was what sort of got me reaching out to her. And yeah, I had actually called her and we had a bit of a chat, and she mentioned evolutionary astrology on that call. And I was like, oh, and my little antenna went up and I was like, okay, I think I might need to explore this. Anyway, that weekend we had the Brisbane Mind, Body, Spirit. And this lady walked in, and I'd never seen a picture or anything of Jody. And somehow, because we were doing shifts, which most people know, somehow I was free. And she stood in front of our stall and she went, oh, I heard about this. I'm pretty sure someone called me about this week. And then she looked at me and looked at my name tag. She goes, I think it was you. So I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so it was me. And we got to chatting. And it was just this, you know, when you have those experiences that are just, you know, coincidental like that or serendipitous. And I was like, right, I think I need to actually come out and see you. So I did. And just astrology has always felt very vast to me. And I like structure. And so I just always felt like it was a bit too big for me. But when I went to see Jody, she broke it down, and to the point where I said, you actually need to be teaching this. And she went, actually, that is something that I'm looking at. So I was like, I think this is why maybe the universe has brought us together. But because I teach kinesiology, so we were, you know, bouncing back and forth about structure and those sorts of things. But we were also, you know, deeply into eclipse season right now. And I know for me, when I put things out or I'm seeing clients and I resonate with what they're feeling, it can be really helpful to kind of, you know, be able to support them in that way and to anticipate what they're going through. And so I've asked Jody to come along and just explain a little bit about that and what we're experiencing, I guess, as a collective at the moment, and some, different things around that. So that's why I thought when you asked for a speaker, I was like, ooh, I know the perfect lady.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And then when you told me what she did, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, please, please, please. That would be amazing. So thank you for that.
Like the word evolutionary astrology is just like, what is that? You know, and I need that. Yeah. So there's so many people that are exactly the same. So yeah, I thought, let's get her on and everyone can meet her and we can have a chat.
I love that. Thank you. All right. And thank you for doing that whilst I was doing I'm finding my little bag to do my draw in, because I'm giving prizes away for my birthday. I know it's a bit the other way around, but I love giving. So that's just who I am. So my first prize, look, can you see?
No.
It says
Is it
Paige.
me?
It's you.
Yay.
All right, I'm going to give you a choice. All right, I'm going to give you a choice because you're the first one and you live close,
Okay.
so I don't have to post it. No, I'm just kidding. Well, sort of.
Awesome.
You can have the Solex glass water bottle. Have you all seen this? Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Do you have one of these?
No, I don't.
Oh, you have to have this. Look at this.
Yes, but I will smash it. That is a problem. But yes.
That's true. Well, you never know. You never know. That's like Amanda Matthews always says she's going to dirty her white t-shirt. It doesn't always happen.
True. I've got to watch my language. Yes.
Water stick.
Oh, yes.
Frequency Soul Collective bracelet.
Got
I
one of
know what
those.
you're going to choose. Or the straw.
Water stick, please.
Water stick. Oh, I was so wrong. Okay. Water stick is yours.
I already have a bracelet. I love my bracelet, but I've already got one of those ones.
No, I know. I thought that. I thought, oh, well, she won't take the bracelet. She's already got one. All right. Second prize is Melanie. Melanie, I have a water bottle, straw, and a Frequency Soul Collective bracelet. Do you want to pop in the chat once I find the chat? What would you like? Or you can unmute yourself, either. Or I'll choose for you. That's exciting. What were the options? The Frequency Soul Collective water bottle, the straw, or a Frequency Soul Collective bracelet. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like we need a drum roll. Come on. What do you want? Awesome. The straw is yours, and you even get the straw just for you today, a straw cleaner. Woo! All right, so that's Mel's. Well done, Mel. All right, hang on. I got two to go. And I'm not even looking, and I don't even have my name in here. How about that? And where's Angela Upton? She loves prizes. I know she does. Oh, are you still there, Ange?
She's MIA.
Oh no, I think she's gone. I know she's dropped off because I wrote these before and she was on. Oh no. Oh well. You snooze, you lose. There goes another one. All right, redraw. Tammy, you can have the Solex water bottle or the Frequency Soul Collective bracelet. So this is the beautiful bracelet that our gorgeous Jo Denning makes on our behalf. It has Amazonite, sunstone, absolutely beautiful.
I know that driving. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah, I just walked in the door so I was just listening. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. The water bottle.
Done. There we go. All right. So this is our last draw for the bracelets. And this one goes to Ali. Ali Robertson. Do you have one of these? I don't even know if you have one of our beautiful bracelets, but this is for you.
Yay.
Ali. I know she's on here. Let's make sure she hasn't jumped off.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Hello. Do you have one of these yet?
No.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm multitasking. I'm making dinner and listening in.
That's perfectly fine, honey. I totally get it. So awesome. So those of you who have won prizes, so Melanie, Tammy, Ali, you can Facebook message me your addresses and I will send you your amazing prizes. So congrats, everyone. I love giving stuff away. Well done. Well done. Oh, I just think I kicked my puppy under the I got too excited. All right. I'm going to hand you over to Paige now to introduce the beautiful Jody. And I think that I'm probably going to stop sharing the screen is probably the easiest way in a moment, but I'll hand it over to you, Paige.
Hey. Yes, as I mentioned, the beautiful Jody is a kinesiologist, has been working in kinesiology for around about 10 years now. And she's also an evolutionary astrologist. And when I actually asked her how she learnt this, she is phenomenal because she's gone out there and she's found all this different information and put it together in her own beautiful way. And so I really respect and love that. And when she works with clients, she actually brings both of those things in. And I love this so much because recently I've started looking into human design, which is in the astrology world, but yeah, a little bit different. And so I bring that in with my kinesiology work too. So I just love what she does with with her work. And she has a very spiritual approach. Looking at individuals' charts and an evolutionary map, sorry, to the soul's intention in this life. And I can tell you, I spent hours with Jody in her session and we just couldn't stop talking. So yeah, yes, welcome Jody. Thank you for being here. Whoop, the screen's gone. Ah! Where are you, Jody? I've got to unmute you.
I've just unmuted myself. Has that worked?
Perfect. Welcome.
Thank you.
So Jody's up in Toowoomba.
Yes.
I say up because I'm in Brisbane, we go upper range. So yes, and thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you for having me.
So welcome. Super excited. I was really hoping to get a bit of a rundown because we touched on this briefly the last time we met up about what's happening at the moment, I guess planetary wise, and how we might be feeling these effects and how we can be, I guess, supporting ourselves, but also supporting those people around us. Yeah, because we're midst, aren't we, really, of all the eclipses, and there's a bit of fun stuff going on.
Absolutely. So we're right in the middle of eclipse season as we speak. So yeah, and eclipse season is eclipses are they're like time warps kind of thing. They're doors opening and doors closing, depending on your own timeline or your own frequency, will how aware or not aware you are, of the opportunities that are around. But most people are aware of the challenges that they feel. They can feel very, very squeezed. And at the moment, the eclipses are in Taurus and Scorpio. So we've got a full moon coming up on the 5th, 6th. It's actually early in the morning on the 6th. And we've got a lunar eclipse taking place at that same time. So a full moon is when the sun and the moon are exactly opposite each other. So the sun is in Taurus at the moment. For all the Taurus people, it's birthday season for you guys. And the moon will be in Taurus. And so they create, I'm a bit of a visual person, they create an opposition to each other. And so there's tension in that opposition, and there's something that wants to be released in order for new beginnings to come. But it's all about endings. It's all about endings, letting something leave, something that's full, something that's complete, something that's got no more life in it, to leave in order for something else to come. And because of the nature of these signs, Scorpio is very hidden. It's hidden depths. It's very watery, and it can be hard to know what it is that's actually, needing to be released and what it is that's actually wanting to come in. And we usually basically will have to just trust. That would be the biggest piece of advice I could give around this eclipse, because it's unknowns, and also what people will be feeling definitely. These signs are fixed signs, so I feel like I want to show you a chart, but there's 12 zodiac signs and 4 of them are fixed. So fixed signs are really stable, and by the same token, they're really resistant to change. So these are the signs that are going to struggle the most with evolution, because they have something and they feel like it's firm and it's a sure thing and it's reliable, and they feel that's why they're called fixed. And so these both Taurus and Scorpio are fixed. And at the moment, there's a square to Pluto, which is a big player in astrology, and he's also just moved into Aquarius, which is a fixed sign, and it's the first time he's been there for 248 years. So this is really big shifts are happening. Pluto actually rules the sign of Scorpio, so he's ruling this full moon and he's ruling this eclipse, and he's all about transformation and shadow work, looking at what's hidden and trying to bring it to the surface. So the types of change, the types of things that people might be experiencing in their lives will be things where they have something that they believe is an absolute. It's an absolute, and they could be even quite dogmatic about this. And that's the very area that is going to be having a shift, like tectonic plates of the earth actually moving and changing in ways that will be very, very destabilizing and disturbing to people. So that's the kind of thing that's happening.
I know for myself, I've actually had 2 clients this week who actually, no, I've had 3 who have had relationships disintegrate. And one of them was a woman who's was married, was completely, it came as an absolute shock to her. And yeah, so I've been talking to a lot of people where that relationship's just gone and they're just like, oh my gosh, like scrambling, trying to go, what the hell, and they have no I'm sure there were warning signs, but it was a shock, a really big shock to them. So is that the sort? So that's kind of the sort of thing that might be.
So the key to do with how this might be affecting people in their personal lives would be the area in the chart, the house in their own natal chart that this eclipse would be taking place. So I think I will just hold a computer up to the screen so people can see an astrology chart in case they've never seen one and see what it is that I'm talking about. So I'm not sure if people can see that. So you'll see there that there's 12 houses, and inside those houses are signs of the zodiac, and then inside that you've got all the planets being represented as icons. And I've put some red around the sun and some bright pink, I think it is, showing the opposition between the sun and the moon, which will be happening on the 6th. So this is a future dated chart. This is the eclipse chart. And I've also used yellow to show you where it's making a square to Pluto. Now, everybody, the moment they're born, they have a chart and all the planets are in a certain place. When they draw their first breath, that's their natal chart. And those are energies that are wanting to be expressed through that individual for the duration of their life. It's like a bit of a stamp. And those energies are constantly wanting to be expressed through the archetypes of the planets and the houses. And then, of course, the world, the stars keep moving. And so we become almost like a fixed point in time, the moment of our birth. And then all of the planets, as they keep moving, are still having an influence on us. And so we can look at the current astrology, this eclipse, and project it back onto our own personal charts and find out what house that's in. So for those people, perhaps this would be taking place in their 7th house to do with relationships, perhaps. And people can feel these things more or less. I mean, it's happening in the collective, and it's an opportunity for everybody. And there's these energies are there, and everyone's feeling them to some degree. But depending on what's actually happening in your own chart, if you have planets from that when you were born that were in the last degrees of the cardinal signs or the early degrees of the fixed signs, as this eclipse and Pluto it is, then those planets are like it's the difference between a subtle feeling and feeling like an electric shock. If your own chart has planets where these eclipses are taking place right now, then this will be really, really powerful for you. And you'll
have to be negative?
What's that?
Does it necessarily have to be negative? So it may be
no, absolutely not. No, so these are, it's like I thought of this earlier. It's like, I don't know if anyone here has ever how they experience perhaps energetic shifts in themselves, but it's like sometimes, well, this is how it's happened for me. So sometimes you can be, maybe it could be a place, or often for me it is, it might be an actual place. You might go to somewhere where there's energies there that you resonate to or that you remember, perhaps like a song line, like a ley line that your soul is triggered by. And it can almost be like everything just like, like the air changes and it shifts and everything slows down, and that something's happening, but you may not know what is happening. Like, it's just like you haven't experienced anything. Oh my God, something's happening here. Everything will start to vibrate around you, or it'll feel like the earth's moving, or you'll have your own sensory, perception of what's going on. And something is happening, and it might be a remembering, or it might be an opportunity. And eclipses, I see eclipses like that, except that opportunity or that shifting is happening for everybody. And depending on your own frequency, how aware or not aware of it you are. So it's an opportunity to be very, very present, and then perhaps perceive something in a different way and make a new choice, and jump timelines or create a whole new timeline of possibilities for yourself. And if you don't, that's fine. Everything just keeps going the way it was, but they're points of potential for evolutionary growth, definitely, that is collective wide. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that right there, what you just said. That's amazing. Oftentimes, I sort of look at what's happening around me. So for instance, the relationship breakups and things like that. And I'll speak to that on social media, and I'll often run a Sephi playlist. So this is more for our team kind of thing. So these types of things are the things that we could be putting out and saying, hey, perhaps you're feeling this right now, and these are the supportive frequencies that I'm offering for you. If you want to join, let me know, because that's what I tend to do. And I when I'm listening to what my clients are saying to me, or what I'm seeing in my own personal life, and I'm putting that out there, and then we can do all the different frequencies on the Cephis, which is I think probably confidence, self-esteem, and love at the moment, and that trust, and all of those sorts of nourishing frequencies would be where we need to be right now. But also any of the transformational kind of ones as well. I know also for myself, when we had my session, this was really relevant to me, and I remember you sent me through one thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this explains exactly where I am right now. But it also gave me permission to be present to that, and my question, I guess, is how, because I didn't like it, because it meant I had to be patient. It was basically saying, slow down, and you're in this transformational phase. And if you try and keep doing what you usually do, you're going to end up in a heap, and you need to go and do something metaphysical and just slow down. And I was like, yeah, that's not okay with me. But I did it because I listened to it, and I was like, okay. And I know that I'm coming kind of out of that in May. So I'm thinking the eclipse is probably when I'm ready to shift, hopefully, out of that. That's what I'm saying anyway. So is there stuff we can do if that's in our chart? I was actually willing to surrender because I knew it was probably going to be what I needed to do. Thanks to your advice. But are there different things that we can do to support? I know, because Jodie and I have worked together. So she's worked with me and I've worked with her. And I know when you came, you were like, I know this is all happening in my chart, but I just need to, I want to clear this sort of thing. So is it possible, even though we've got stuff going on in our chart, to do some work around it to kind of help ease any,
absolutely,
stuff like that?
absolutely. So what I'm describing, which is what's happening, on a collective level, these fixed signs and the tension, between oppositions and squares. And so that's present for everyone. How it's present for everyone depends on where it's happening in their own chart, what house. And as I said, what aspects or connections or influences it's having back, what planets might be making angles to their own planets, that kind of thing. And when you look at that, then you see, even if you're really unaware, so this is all happening. The astrology is happening whether we know it's happening or not, and a lot of us are just doing our thing. But perhaps I'm assuming perhaps people in this group are taking advantage or doing their best to take advantage of all of the tools that we have available to us now in order to continue to evolve and to continue to meet our challenges energetically and grow, and expand and stay in balance, that kind of thing. So looking at your chart and looking at the current planets against your own chart, there are themes there, if it's to do with so Taurus is where the sun is at the moment, and Taurus is about is earthy, it's sensual, it's about values, it's a fixed sign. Taurians, the joke is that they can be stubborn, but as a Taurian myself, I prefer to say reliable and consistent. So there's themes or qualities that exist there in the sign, and then depending on the planets that's there, so eclipses are very emotional because it's about the moon, so on an emotional level, perhaps not on an intellectual level, people will be experiencing these things and they'll have this emotional response to stuff, but perhaps not an intellectual response. And the moon is also about our past. So some of this stuff that could be bubbling to the surface could be really old. It might be from now in this life, but it could even be before that, but the emotions will be ripe and they'll bubble to the surface. And because Scorpio is about power struggles, what's hidden, it's about complexity, psychology, deep stuff, then it can be like, well, I don't really know what's happening. But, you can ask yourself questions around this, even if you have no idea of the house that this is happening for you. And it'll be like, what is it that I feel is a not negotiable? What is it that I feel, or and Scorpio is also about hidden things that are hidden, things that are secretive, things that are difficult to face, So you could ask yourself, what is it that I'm really scared of at the moment? What can I just not bear to look at? What is it that I keep pushed down in the cupboard and I don't look at within myself or in the outer world? And then, by the opposite token, what would bring me peace? That's a very Taurian, ruled by Venus, goddess of love, goddess of peace. How do I feel calm? How do I get grounded? How do I, what is it that I truly value? So this can be a battle between values, which are Taurian, and things that we're resisting and hiding from, which is Scorpio. And people can have these wake-up calls, and they don't have to be bad. But this example perhaps is not fabulous. It's a negative example because, often as humans, we respond to the negative and we're complacent when everything is going fine. I don't have to be like that, but it is an old pattern of human nature. And as we evolve, we become more present and more willing to step into choice and change without that prodding, but it is still quite an old-fashioned way for us to be as a human being. And so we might think that we value security and we might think that having plenty of money or and a lovely house and all those things is something that we really, really value, and that's what we're working towards. It's on our vision board and all of those things, and then all of a sudden something happens with our health or with our partner or with our child, and all of a sudden we have this rebooting of, oh my God, what's really important here? And so, those are the types of things where we go, okay, I need to sit down and really evaluate what are my values, what is important to me, what are my not negotiables, what are the things that I'm fixed on. And this time, because of the fixed nature of these two sides, they're about value and what's hidden and complexities. These things could step forward. These things could step forward for us and all of a sudden we find ourselves letting go of something. And so the image for me that I get, because I get this just a visual.
I love your images.
Yeah, they just appear and won't go away in my mind. So anyway, so the image is, so I'm assuming there might be a few kinesiologists or people who are familiar with, fire, earth, air, those concepts. So the elemental kind of concepts. So Scorpio is a water sign and Taurus is an earth sign. So the image for me is always, there's a stream or there's a pathway, there's something to be crossed and there's stepping stones going across. And at times like this, the water might rise or the stepping stone might fall, might go down. And the only reason you got to this point in your life is because you walked across those stepping stones. They were solid. They got you to this point. They were rock solid, but all of a sudden now either they're sinking, or the waters are rising. And if you stay on that stepping stone, you are going to get washed, you're going to get washed away. Like, you need to move to the next solid place, and you might have to give up the sureness of this place, this truth, this that you've always held. So that's the kind of, it's a metaphor, a visual metaphor for what people might be experiencing at the moment. And look, often it's not happening as a need to, it's an evolutionary choice. If you're wanting to move forward on your timeline, if you're wanting to jump, if you're wanting to go through that doorway that takes you into the next place, then now's a time that you could do that. And if you don't, that's fine. Your life just keeps going. If it's really important for you on a soul level and you've got lots of planets involved and lots of other stuff involved, then you might have a really defined outer world event that does kind of make you have to face it. But otherwise, they're just times of choice for lots of people.
So amazing.
Not that answered your question. I can't even remember your question.
Yeah. No, totally. And I kind of feel like you're speaking directly to me. So I'm hoping that everyone else feels that too, because I'm like, is she tapping into my brain and what's going on here now? But yeah, I feel like everyone else will be having that. I trust that everyone else is having that kind of experience here too, which is beautiful. And that's why I love what you do.
Trust is the word. Trust is the word at the moment. Yeah, trust is the word, and surrender, because the hidden nature of Scorpio means that whatever's being released, we may not even know. We may not even know until it's actually happening. It can be like that. So it's like being cast adrift on a dark, on an ocean at night. That watery element, and you just need to just trust. And whatever you're facing right now in this moment, if you trust the universe, you're handling it. You're handling right now, this moment, right now, and then just trust that you'll handle the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. And then the light of the new day will come and you'll go, okay, now I know what I'm dealing with. But in it, when you're right in it, it may feel like I don't even know. Something's happening. I don't even know what's happening. Does that make sense? It is hard, the shadowy natures of eclipses, because they're throwing a shadow over things. They're not casting a light on things. There is always this shadow, this hiddenness. And it's more so because this eclipse is happening in Scorpio.
I'm laughing because my partner's a Scorpio, and I always say I find out things about him when he talks to other people. So he'll tell people all of this stuff, and I'm like, why haven't you told me this? So I'll find
Yeah.
out about my life and what we're about to do and what's happening in his life because he's talking to everyone else. And I'm like, dude, like just share it. But it's who he is. And I've learned to, and it's not, he doesn't mean it to be that way. It's just, he has all this stuff going on and he's just like, oh yeah, you know, that's how it is. And anyway, yeah. So I get the Scorpio energy. Absolutely. Can you just explain to everyone how you would explain evolutionary kinesiology? I keep saying kinesiology because I'm in that world.
Yeah,
Astrology as opposed to the normal, because I know you explained it to me and I loved that explanation. And just in case anyone wants to reach out to you or, you know, get your information and stuff. Yeah, just so they, I guess, I probably should have started there, but, you know, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah. So I can't remember what I said to you, but so for me, astrology is like your soul's map. So the moment you draw your first breath, as I said, all the planets are in a sign and in a house, you know, and that is and at an exact degree, you know, like Pluto at the moment as it is at 0 degrees Aquarius, or, you know, 17 minutes or something, and it's retrograde, and, you know, and that's all meaningful, you know, and then he'll be making angles. I'll show you if I can. He'll be making angles. This is just that chart of you can see that there's crisscrossy lines and other things there, and each planet may be making angles to other planets, or they might not be, and that in itself is significant too, as to how they will want to express themselves through you. So this is like your soul's map. And also on here, evolutionary astrology works on the basis that we're an eternal being, and that we've had previous lives and we will continue to, you know, exist after we shed this vessel, this body, and we are, you know, expanding and learning about things, and that's why we incarnate, you know, and we kind of leave ourselves a bit of the moment we incarnate is pivotal, and the astrology chart helps us understand what it is that we're wanting to do in this life. Like, what's our focus? Where are we exploring? Where are we creating? You know, what is it that we want? What are the energies that we're playing with that are important to us, that we've said, hey, I really want to learn about these themes during this lifetime. And so we have evolutionary astrology looks at the karmic nodes, or the lunar nodes, and they sit opposite each other in the chart, and one of them looks at our karma, which is really just our emotional patterning that has become entrenched in us from previous lives, and it's kind of our go-to. It's our knee-jerk reaction, and it's, you know, it's just what we do because of the experiences we've had before, you know. And there'll be experiences there that are ready to be ripe to be healed. So there'll be patterning, and perhaps there'll be gifts and talents in there, but there'll also be some wounding, something that we are needing to. It's an easy way of putting it is we perhaps put it on our bucket list in a previous life, and we had a good hard go at it, but we didn't tick it off. You know, we just didn't quite. We may have even done what we said we do, but what it cost us, there's an emotional wounding that we didn't get to integrate and load up, you know, to our soul star chakra before we left that body and, you know, moved on. And so there's some unfinished business there, so we need to go back in, and our childhood often presents it to us, that South Node story. It reminds us, although more and more I see some really amazing young people who don't actually have to experience. They can just almost witness it and see it and realize they're being triggered by it and wonder why. It's just a great time to be on the planet, if you ask me. Things are moving so quickly. So yeah, we can look at that and we can heal that, and we can just integrate all of that in a high vibrationary way, you know, where we're working with those energies. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it, in a high vibrationary way. And then we turn across to the other side of the chart, and that's the direction that our soul wants to travel in. So it's saying, okay, this is where I want to explore now. And we look at a chart with those lunar nodes and the angles they make, and to everything else, and we can get, you know, if people have ever done any past life stuff, like it's just there. It's like a map. You can see. You might know what would come up exactly if someone was to do a regression, but you know all the themes are there. The general story is there. It's like, yeah, I could make up a story looking at their chart that's going to bring up in them all the feelings that they've always had, that they've never really, that unfinished business, how it's actually presented for them in their life. They might need to share that, but you will know what the themes of their emotional woundings are, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it helps us look at that. And then, of course, there's no, everything's in there because for a reason. So it just helps us, it brings all the challenges that are right for us on our evolutionary path, that, it's like, well, it's just bringing these opportunities or these situations to us, and then we get to, it's just the perfect classroom for us to go through our stuff, respond really well, and then move forward. Yeah. So it's just looking at the soul. It's looking at this life as just one life, in a journey. Yeah.
Soul's journey. Yeah, amazing. Brilliant. And if people want to find you, Jodie, where can they find you?
I have a really old I'm on Instagram. I have a really old website that I need to get sorted out. Look, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and just message me via either of those. Jodie Campbell Kinesiology is how that's set up at the moment. And I do Zoom or face to face.
Yeah. So I was compelled to go and see Jodie at her beautiful farm just outside of Toowoomba, and it was just amazing. I love that. She's got a gorgeous setup there. But yes, Jodie does do Zoom as well, and she's going to be teaching this at some stage very soon.
Yes,
so
yes, that's very true. That's also very true.
Yeah. And what I loved is that you had you brought it. When I was there, I've had many astrology sessions, many, but I walked away with this massive big document, and I never looked at it again, and I could never make sense of it, and it was just way too much. We covered a lot together, but even now when I'm looking at my stuff, I'm like, I understand that in relation to those nodes, and you just made it really clear and digestible, and that's why I love the way you present it. So and a beautiful add-on to any modality that you're doing to help your people look from that soul's perspective, and to so for kinesiology, it's a no-brainer for me. I think it's amazing to add something like this in, but I think also just like Reiki and like all sorts of different healing modalities, and if you just wanted to do this as a standalone as well, I think it would be amazing. So
absolutely. What I'll just say there is that I guess that as an energy worker anyway, and being intuitive, then I haven't had, and I hope I never have, a set formula for how I would look at someone's chart and what I would go through. I mean, I might say, well, this is your sun and your moon and your ascendant, because they're big players, but sometimes you look at someone's chart and straight away, like it's like your whole body vibrates when you look at one planet and you go, okay, I know what's stepping forward. It's like just comes out of the chart. So the chart can almost become, when you're intuitive and you also have the framework of astrology, those two together means that you just allow what's stepping forward to step forward today. You are correct. It is really big. There's so much scope in there. You could just go for a session once a month for a year, and that your astrology would still be able to keep bringing new things to you, but that I guess that's the other way, because I came at it from that as a kinesiologist and an energy worker from that platform first. Then I bring that to it. I bring that to it. I bring that intuitive nature to the astrology. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for being here. I know every time we talk, I get so much out of it. So and I really know that everyone would have gotten what they needed out of it tonight. So thank you so much for being here. And
thank you for having me.
Worries, and until our next catch up.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now, will I sign off now and leave you guys to finish up? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. I really enjoyed that. So thank you.
Lovely. See you, Paige.
Okay, bye,
Bye.
Jodie. Bye.
Wow, that was just so incredible. Thank you so much, Paige, and thank you so much, Jodie, for coming on board. I really appreciate that tonight. And thank you for organizing that, Paige. That totally blows my mind because as I said in the chat, I literally had a past life regression thing done today. And what actually came up in that is stuff that's manifested in particularly the last few days for me. And now to have that session today and then hear Jodie speak tonight, you know, like you were saying before, you felt like she was talking directly to you. I'm like, holy, you know what? Me too. So that is so cool. So I know we're a little bit over time, but thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Thanks so much again, Paige, for organizing Jodie. She was just amazing. And yeah, and we'll have this recording up in the next 24 hours. So anyone who's missed it, hopefully they can check that out as well. But good luck for May, everyone. For those of you who are running for Punta Cana, May and June is definitely the months to get your skates on because that's really the time. We have 8 weeks now to really bring in some incredible people to our collaboration and get you to Punta Cana. So thanks everyone for joining us. We will leave it there for this evening. And for those of you on Focus Group, we will see you next Monday night. Thank you and good night.